it's a true honor for me to be here with you. Thank you for sharing your time with me.
Oh, thank you. And I love your Toy Story ball.
Oh, my Toy Story ball. And
Toy Story
my
balls.
calendar. My calendar is better.
Calendar schmalander. Toy Story is where it's at.
I am so happy that I have the chance to congratulate you for the episode that we saw on season 2 about your character, because I know that episode wasn't planned. It wasn't supposed to exist. Something happened and Brett had to write it, and that's amazing writing. But I guess that episode changed you in a professional and maybe a personal way, because you had the chance to be the protagonist of Ted Lasso. You are already a very important character, but now it was everything through your eyes.
It was a very cool experience. I'm a producer on the show, so I usually have a big hand in the scripts, but that one I wasn't allowed to be involved in. They took it away from me for a very long time, until finally it was like, hey guys, we're getting, I need to know what I'm supposed to say. But in terms of the experience itself, I don't know if you know John Malkovich, the actor John Malkovich, and he had a movie called In the Line of Fire, where he actually won an Oscar for it, I think. I remember seeing an interview with him around that time, and people were asking, like, how was your experience making this this big action movie? And his answer was, all this running is for the birds. And that is very much how I feel about Beard After Hours. Oh, the running? No. Never again. I'm too old. My poor knees. So when I think of making that episode, I just think of long nights and sweaty socks.
I love that honesty. Thank you. Thank you for that. Nate is one of my favorite characters from Ted Lasso because of his transition. Because we know that you started as an ally and you're a kind of enemy now. And all these details that made that happen, like your hair and how you spit and how your resentment has grown. And you became like a villain against Ted Lasso. And that's like the worst thing in the world. How did you survive that in terms of being an actor and making that switch, and also with all the comments of the people that it's hard to see that?
Yeah, I think well, listen, I mean, the bottom line was that the scripts were absolutely phenomenal, and the way the writers sort of drip fed that, particularly that season 2 sort of downward sort of trajectory, showing sort of Nate's downfall. They did it so subtly, and as an actor it's an absolute joy to play, because the stuff to kind of really kind of grab onto there, and at times it did feel quite intimidating and quite challenging, because I'd grown fond of playing season 1 Nate in the way that I play him, because it's fun and there are lots of laughs in there, and it's quite cute. But then the season 2 Nate, I effectively you sacrifice some of the kind of gaggier, funnier moments for actually really sometimes quite nasty moments where it's sort of more dramatic or emotional storytelling. And take that scene in the season finale of season 2 when Nate really lays into Ted, and that's horrible. It's really horrible, and as an actor that was certainly more challenging, or I found it more challenging. And I mean, in terms of how I dealt with it, it was really through having the source material. The scripts are just phenomenal, so that's always a great start. But so much kind of coaching from Jason and the team of directors and the creators who are always on set to kind of guide the performance, really. Because my concern was always about peaking too early and it not being believable, because it is such a big contrast between the end of season 1 and the end of season 2, and making sure it felt believable.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that, because I think that you did such a great job that you made us dislike you strongly. And that's a good thing, because that means that you did your job in a good way.
Yeah.
Literally, you are a coach for football players. But I always have seen you as a coach for Ted Lasso also, because he's this character that's so optimistic, and he also goes to therapy, but you are also this discreet therapist in kind of way, like a guardian angel that's always there for him, just to look at him, and with that you're saying something. Is it something that you have thought about it?
Yeah, I mean, the foundation of that character is that he is he is an unquestioning, loyal friend who will always be there for his friend, and he'll always give his friend what his friend needs. That's why he talks so little, because Ted's got the talking part handled. So he doesn't need Beard to talk, so Beard's not going to talk. But yeah, every once in a while, Ted needs to be set straight, and Beard is the one who is, has no objection to doing that, and he'll do it in a right and respectful way. But yeah, everyone needs that kind of friend. That friend who will say, hey, you're doing great, I love you, but also you have lettuce in your teeth. Like, we all need that person.
My last question for you is about, we have all these shows getting canceled, and you being an actor, being a producer in Ted Lasso, and having the chance to come back again, to do another season, to explore your character, and to make more audiences happy, because that's what you do. You make us believe in life more than just football is life, it's just life is amazing. How do you just enjoy that?
Well, thank you for all that. It's the job I've always wanted to do. And so we just get to show up to work every day and punch the clock and do our best and get out of there. And the fact that people have responded to it so much is just separate from us completely. We gave our sweat, and it's coming back to us in a grand multiplier of return. So yeah, just very grateful and enjoying it while it lasts.
It's an absolute joy, really. I mean, one of the things that I feel Ted Lasso has done, which I've not really ever done in anything before, is that it's to have given the opportunity to sort of take a character and to explore it in far more detail than I've been allowed to before. And that's partly because my background over here in the UK is in sitcom, but often even the episode lengths are like 22 minutes or half an hour. So you often, if you're an ensemble, part of an ensemble or a supporting character, you don't really get the luxury of going on a journey or a season arc or anything, because often it's more the major players that might have character development, but the supporting players, they're more the constants in the show that don't really develop, because it's they're the foils for which your big players sort of spark off. So to be able to kind of go on a journey, even with a character like Nate, a supporting character, has been a joy, because I've never really got to do that, and particularly because of the extent of that journey and the contrast between where he starts and where he ends up is quite distinct. Yeah, that has been a real blessing, because as an actor, again, it's just something that you can really kind of get your teeth sort of stuck into and have a lot of fun with.
So nice to meet you. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Brendan, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Diana. You are delightful. I appreciate you.